Kpandai say MPP problem nyina say no nkrofo a omukiteska anka omude bekosoro ho no wansha no mu nyina anko once MPP mu omuse anything northern region Bawumia ye ba win elections for northern region Bawumia bibia song ana nyinda mu isusu a ne ho aba asemu ya omuba bekoyi wayi nanim Bawumia chi den na odi Bawumia chi no ebe di beja delegation hono no aba betra hono so ye kan be ama
oh
okay dan for beja delegate ho no aba betra hono so ye kan be ama ana du twuma na take of the Agyapong eno any problem no so we dey no enti so musu nyina no enya hwio because say abuaka Bawumia nsim kwaye obefa so obukwa we ni hono mri apa na fi confirm say sa no fi say Bawumia ampa no eno ada ye problem no enti so mo obulusu Kpandai ka ho dia na say oni say yi constituency so mo de koye eye be 5 o eye be 5 eti matise suhum ne yi mu nyina keka ho a chese di nyina no eni na ni na ku a wan hwe on ba beje eti so bo anhwe ya ebeduru ba bi no mu street na akoka be 82 pe
yo hosting I'm not Monday why
so that
Yewra Bawumia di Yewra Akufo-Addo for how many times? 8 years in opposition, 8 years in government. Okay? And now Yewra Canada Agyapong. And we the leading force as we speak today. Yakoto Abawoya, Tefrawias, Obian will be afraid to Ababe Sam Yunu. Every election have two people who are the leading folks. Okay? Etika eadia national executive krompo atenase. Enanke yese ye call national council ye call ye meeting ni adi nyina de ye call ya ne se sa nipa mienu ye pese ye de mu mienu ko eti mu mienu ti asama me no kaniye mu mienu monko na monko loko mu ho na monko yi ba komra na ba ko na modene beba no ba ko ni nachi mu mienu monko make say decision na mo famre ye eti o monko duru ye na ape
ba komra
o de America ha eti ko mu mienu ti me de be si asem bi so no hu how sense I'm making here eti o mu ko ba ye na mu duru dem ape na Yewra Bawumia ka kire kan say oh woni bibi se ne be ya asomtwe beba enom ne ade ni nti wo ko na menni wachi ti asema me no kani ena o mu ba ye na o mbenya sa decision ni say yayi Yewra Agyapong Bawumia ni nachi ene ya de o mu mienu ekọ ye ne ye ko present kire national council na MPP ye gitu mu a me ka no kra kire o ka Ghana fo be ka say 77 produce ya jimifo why because uhwe Yewra Bawumia baby o free baby a wabedru as a sitting vice president na wapaja ni mu ababedru suru sei na afa yen say twa ye ho aka kire ne say onko di Yewra Agyapong wachi ne am present o mu mienu nyina. It becomes insult to yanya party no. Etika ye dialogue sese ko mu tenase yi ampa kanese so mu hwe se e ko mu ni Yewra Agyapong ni Bawumia ni omom ka ho ni nyina betenase yiye na nka omotimi a project Bawumia na ye de Agyapong ata na chi na omumienu base na ye hia no entokwa biansi.
Okay, Bawumia as candidate can
asa obian chinchim obian sa ngunachi eka omu betimi atiase se ya mpase ye won panimfo ofie ene ye tena se twini yi ampa ka that is what we were meant to go. That is how it was. Look, me yes so me we na fia me yes so we no and now hwe me dipia Canada Agyapong ene Bawumia ene da me dipi nko fo so omo ntiase babia me gina nem se me gina o sa akopem se ye beto sa ba wo ye wi
a combined a united ticket now. Okay.
Of course. And the survey no really happen here. People responded because me kokasa o Miami chapter e looting. That time name we accommodate appointment chain me nua pani. And I'm a mass speech. And I'm a kasa at send ya makasa ansa tem di die bebrebe na ye di no. Say ye nyai ne yantimi anya unity to go to this election. Me media kamenya kayamfa mienu no nko. Say the mienu no kokra na afia me ka no kra kire o enya win. Eye effort. How do you gain the seats of, look, 180 something? Says here, yes, 18 million. Now you could 87. Yes, free. So look, how do you fill this parliamentary seats? As I said, the bar basro now utiminya bituswo. How do you fill the over 2.4 million people that sat home? Ah, almost one man got 12. I said, no, we are lazy in no man to about. Oh, Nina Bribo Fuyen. After Kaka Wabon, Nanka Yakwa, and no crown kaya effort and your win. And the air like your beer, your Timmy, I winnie, Kakrabi, Martin be a yaketakin near your winnie this election. You see, people think, say, at the end of that table, you say, I grow. It's almost jokey. Atem the dear for no only jokers.
Smart gan up.
Omo mu di atem ni nyina free some panimfo so ekopem a form me say omo nyina ye jokers. They don't even understand what the politics is.
Update.
They don't have a clue of what is happening in our political system.
I'm getting your point, Senka. A united ticket no would have saved party, all this time. I'm wasting and then talk on so that you can focus on seats,
Of course. But the Opu Fiaba Bonting now be can kekesa. Obi abeka say, oh, I now Opu say autocratic a year now. No. Dialogue. Respectful, higher platform. I would do a bo amam penimfona or mupaso mujina no nya grodie. And two by four bit say you rako 14 and me bomudino. Akofi for him, I am prango no many a day or Kumasim penifo kukuda my war regions, any a day, no more timia tinasi yampa, and no ye dialogue. Obuo maya home, and maya very honest with ourselves. If I am the leader of our party as a chairman, that is what I would have done.
Okay, chairman.
Right now, no, they don't have a clue of what to do. I will say it and point blank. Maria, my family want the maka. They don't have a clue. Omunina bon duduana sebi. Duduana. Sebi. Duduana omwa bon. Omunim ni oso omuye. And now chatim didi ekoso because of say right from the beginning we could not stop it. And how did we even get to that particular part? Mr. Samina Meye, national chairman of our MPPR. And a vote of 2.4 million down as deficit and come and Twaba. We shouldn't be here where we are. Democracy na here no. Primary assembly maker. In terms of this presidential primaries, say mina meye national chairman e can me my Twaba. As my maker a very strong statement in Mamekino, and I was playing. I was playing. You see, democracy na here in fear. Dialogue is also part of it.
Okay.
Dialogue, a election. Baby, we are not in normal times. Now, Ubacha say, clearly, unimpasa niyamabi bububa ehu. What do you do? That is the proactiveness that I'm talking about. And so, if we have a very strong leadership, that can say obetimi a deliver ampana ye ebuo ho ye bu no value no na nanimu ohun kakra no personality back on America. I'm talking about leadership. Now ampa utimi ehun say ampa president Kufo bi tiase na do danko Kufo ado bi tiase. A penny for chum call you radam botche numni a day kukudam a friend saying former chairman for any a day omunina that's all your council of elders chairman or tiasi and penny for of ye it is a national executive now consultation between this people now munu ya kukudam na they've gone through the mail and want me a mount nancy and ha our woman China only woman ninkita who you know pay solutions and ideas, advice and free will failing.
And
as some people UK chairman, the Council of Elder Ghana. Nana Sumpahini. Mamen Chiana Numri. Menini dinkita home every time be a biba sorry I'm if a broom should be I call her. Because she was executive in MPP UK during the JH Mensan time. Oni some penifo no Mrs. Akuma nim no SK boafo nom ne Bawumia mo some penifo kukudam no Chamata Krufinum and Pretum and all those people. I call them constantly me no mudin komo. What you say? Enti say idea efia yetimi hu say baby ye gina proper critical analysis and research backup. Nya the feelings ni emotions never baba catch us on me and twaba. You study the terrain and make sure say visibility studies are we here, you know, at the saying and I believe that if we had such a leadership and the idea of farm penning for non person who have to so be also intention be and them and I say now what trick run a retreat in poor and I hear to Jenny and Pananka national executives Nankasa crowd go for say, oh, yeah, the empty as a court because democracy and it was so be at me to a bar and then to Jenny and Panka. Then you put it to even those people no person Mujana say, Mumma Jenny, the Beko,
Smart Gan update.
Okay.
Then Omono Momu Crampo tries a Fabos Omono Twatwajine. Now for Omono per solution to the problem. And so by the time I'll be Quaco Drew na you know. Now, people want your consensus approach to be a something that is manageable.
Chairman, but Chairman, as I do you agree with the sentiments about and can the focus should be directed in areas except Kpandai seats, seats and Moluzo Akotiani instead of Ntokwana Ekoso our primaries? No, essentially that is this point.
Yes, so there are some aspects I'm in the agree, and there are some aspects I'm in the Papa Penny can Kingsley soon agree. Oh, and you know, be home. You know, one I'll talk about. Let me free the reasons why we feel the way we are now as a party. Okay, the entire party you cannot blame any one institution, from Parliament to even as leaders of the party in the diaspora, leaders in Ghana. The friend is saying the party structure in Ghana. You cannot shift blame from anyone and send anything you do her. And I'll tell you an example. Your friend is saying you can't say right? How many parliamentarians president say are still by? How many of us did you know say sorry as party chairman? I say sorry can say parliament for the point I'm trying to make it was a collective failure. So we shouldn't be sitting here trying to apportion blames. We are all part of the reason why the party is here today. And let's try and find reasons and solutions to move forward.
Have been older and more.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm saying. All of us, every facet of the party had a role to play in where we are today. That is a fact. We cannot shift blame as if it's just a party structure or just some executives or parliamentarians. We are all part to blame. Let's accept that as a party, that we are part of the failure. Then let's find ways to move forward. That is the first thing that I would say. One of the things I agree is our party communication, I believe, is broken, and that is something that we need to fix. Anything. Can they do more? Yes, maybe they can do more, but to generalize, you know, I think that is an overstretch. Okay.
But how about it's not good.
And then I made and you see, and the point that I overcame making, yes, I understand. Unfortunately, we have a party where even our chairman is, and so they don't know about watching the Kadwa felt me. So there are issues. Don't get me wrong, there are people that can play, but there are issues. I'm not saying that they are perfect. There are a lot of issues that I see with our party, even our party structure. But that doesn't mean, you know, they are not doing anything. That is where I deviate from where of Kingsley come. But there's something that he said, which I think, we need to take as a party. One of the things is the insults. Sure. Insults now, that isn't the party that we came to meet. The Daroches, the party, I'm not talking points, so Mokasa, not gonna 14 years. That is what we want. We have an identity as a party. And now many can say, I say any of these are swapping identities. Yeah, the attempt. That is what is happening. That is the reality on the ground. And until as a party we get our identity back, because that's not what people know of NPP.
So NPP is suffering from identity crisis currently.
That is how it is, because now the new National Party, we have constituency chairman going on insulting people. You know, we have former appointees insulting people. That is not how we build as a party. That thing needs to stop. We need to get our identity back. So we need to shun for those insult politics and focus on issues. That is how we were birthed. We've always been a party of ideas, and let's get back to that. That's what's going to endear us back to Ghanaians. You know, on issue say let's have a joint ticket. You know, you see, there are ways of doing this. You don't want to do the right thing using the wrong process. What you here? So you should have that premise when you are taking any decision. Okay, so I'm better now because I say I could tell election I call, but basically we had one candidate. They had to election. I told you say there was some dialogue and we went ahead and we did that because we felt that was the right thing to do at that point. Your party is presidential candidate. Most often than not, is the president that proposes who he wants as a vice. No between Juma. Then our national council would accept the person if they feel that the person is fit, or they'll deliberate on it. What you here? So I think, sir, even if you wanted a consensus candidate, let Ghanaians go and vote. Say the 31st, no. What is here? Let's say we're in Ghana for Ghana because you have the two people. That's what Ghanaians want. That is very, very important. And our electoral database can be taken as a statistic of what Ghanaians want. It might not be a true reflection, but it's a statistic of what is coming out there. Then at that point, if the person who the elected candidate, can start those dialogues. If we think, say, okay, maybe I might say, we candidate 49, candidate 51. It's so close. Then as far as we look at these numbers, you just say, hey, even though we need, but look at the numbers, it appears there's a split among the two of you. Can we have that dialogue? What I said, at that point, that makes sense. And I'm that's Obinya 89, Obinya 2. I said, yeah, it might even make sense to have that dialogue. And I can give you an example. If you see the NDC, Mahama come out of one them. What you say? So have that compromise. We're two leading candidates. But so sometimes that dialogue might make sense.
Ahead of even any
let's follow the due process. You follow due process and the data shows us this is something that works out. We can do that. Yes, maybe it might have prevented us losing focus on some of these elections, but any institution that's undergoing reforms, these noises are very, very part of it. It will take us to really break down the party, start our institutions again, to be able to get to where we are. And this is not the time to trample our institutions and just go ahead and because we think that this might be a good idea and do it. I say, sir, we follow the due down structures. Let's have the election. If we think, sir, based on the election results, that is a good pattern. Yes, we can open that dialogue. What you say? So the key details that we need to focus on as a party is building our structures back, getting our institutions to work. The good thing then say you have all this level from polling agents, regional constituencies, diaspora. What you say? Ghanaians will get a chance to show the party membership show these are the people that we want. But that is how you build the party back. Intimate things the world they make on say we all have a role to play in rebuilding the party.
Okay.
Whether it's the diaspora, go ahead. I was saying so whether it's the diaspora, whether it's the party in Ghana, whether it's parliamentarians, party leadership, who are MPP supporters, MPP sympathizer, then a role to play because you can only do people so every now you have to be a Peter party, no, what partner funding to my pay for.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. You see, if you look at my submission, some makano and yet different from the Okayano. I was one name Ninja and the kind and one on one because I summarize now or the other back. One, I was not say me support this year go through the process. I addressed the whole package throughout to the end of it. What should have been taking place earlier? How did we assess it? Which one was the way forward? You see, we are talking about, and now I admit this to say, and or not admission, but what some form to say, or name ya gonna say, at him did you know? If you have leadership that is very active and knows what they are doing, how could you sit down as a national party from Kofodia attempt all over the world? Now, what's new was in Biaka, only two beer to use. As a man cannot say. Because, for example, may you sue MPP UK as an example. Okay. Right now, I'm in say messages be on more ye free a platform. So.
Oh, okay.
I took it upon myself at some point. Now, just all the file be picture be now video be a chem corny ade may you a free platform no crash. Now for young man say if we have leadership, that has issued a statement empowering all chairpersons across board, constituency, region, national, and also your friend is saying external branches. Say more obia platform, more monitor platforms no so na mumma sunye kama. Just that message alone. Just that message alone will empower people for them to regulate their platforms.
Okay, I know. But see, to say I brought an example. I'm
Of course. Okay.
Even
it is a
because
CCR no say.
MPP image, assassin.
Menene ya adwene 100%. Baby ya jina say CCR no. Oh no, menene ya adwene 100% because you see MPP na yen tamanam ye 1992 ana ye kra ye nima de kro papa na me call ye police station agent at that time sana na ye frɛ ye de ko boy 1992 I was a police agent. Mpanimfo ne edi wo machina ne no mu ya meka ye area misa prempen no ne ade ne mpanimfo kukudam na ye nim kra na ye youngsters na ye siso no ye baba wura mu akire no ye hu mpanimfo te se safo tunum ne ade ne president kofo mu ne the ideology that they were pursuing was to fix Ghana. Obi ani adade say ekodi obi atempa nipa da sani timi tenase say makofo MPP UK chairman de na to table so na eniema na ba kokora nim na me dia lambastin ho ya money $100,000 pounds amane dia pass one for my election wodi MPP UK more £10 kokora no amasa ho bedwan £10 na obi abonisire mu apagya de atare me amampa eye adwuma no executive even obi amawa wo ho me for telephone ringing call phone penifone obi amfa ba kokora amfa.
Okay, and this because is supposedly a party machinery. Isn't that make us say?
And that is exactly my point.
When you are self-inflicted,
if you are master na me canon, you see, and that is where me baby a mijina na wana mijina because me krana me ya MPP UK chairman no me timin tinasi man MPP UK misbehave me stop it.
Okay.
What you say? If you want national no na say who regulate me. Now regulate constituency. Now regulate abonye. My boni di na wo ofidie or baba be di matem. I don't care about that because me cannot cry.
What you say? Abronya emergence no any the oil no. Is it a creation of party national executive and its own thing?
What do you mean say if you are an own thing? Say me to say I want the country am me di wa bontin. It's because of some young people UK chairman in Tina me wetra ofidie we say so and go for krampo say o mada de tie me more.
Okay.
Because of so na ta de ne kata me ho no. E ma me mu yetu. What you say? It is if there are certain measures in place that say conduct yourself because who dia go be water de na togu a behave.
Okay.
If you are me boa. If you are leadership now say wo dia wo ya tetere won sa bu wachi na obi ye nya abronye nko na mebon de di bebrewi ye and na no yi even ye miami nua atachia ensem okeka ye sebio pani enkasasa.
Why na was o take initiative?
Why na say so ye?
Because
I want to
know. I don't know. You cannot deny say because for me, it's not a creation of the party. But he's saying no, nipa no or from Toma as MPP. And you cannot deny that or your MPP ni and also executive. And I don't know if Mako as they say abronya another time no be so set the platform also started. Why Jatum said this is not the MPP you know. If I remember
and we are sitting there since I'm a Ghana July about Drew Hane and then in Abronya that who diatemu dinner to Siatem Mutuamo still okay. Really? Management? No. Because I fail
right. And the premise is that we all don't agree. It's very interesting, sir. Kingsley appears to be, an abroad yet, and the other.
No, I'm not. To be honest, because of say.
No, but go ahead.
And then me use abroad. Or no, dear, no, abroad dear cassette, and I said it even when I was in Ghana, because I did matter. My cousins at Fidiana was what Todia Bessin and Nimna or the Bedia Temuno, and that is the worrying part. Nipa na nkasa atena se aka. Ama na otiafidie nanimu ampo miminis ayi e friend saying platform say fia wan frame say memra me enye program a mini platform a me da bia me dem sorry ameka sasa eti say nipa na ya regional chairman MPP regional chairman ato camera sinanim wa announce to the whole world say odibedi nkofo atem yanso ya say a private anu ya private business and how ya chairman wa and so you timi nkan wasem really I find it extremely difficult to understand that. It means we have no leadership. Period.
Okay, Chairman,
Chairman Kingsley, this issue that he's talking about, okay, part now a woman, we have structures. What you saying? So be BB. The first thing is you can write to the party, you can write to the general secretary. We have a say. What you say? You can attach your evidence. The general secretary, as the scribe of the party, would refer, based on the weight of the allegation, would refer it to NEC. What does it? NEC be doing it at home. Some of the repercussions might be, say, you be suspending the patrono. Maybe a man written warning. What does it? There are structures within the party to address some of these things. And yes, so sorry, how free house you. We are going to say, or Zimbabwe say it may. That is the first thing that
executives for if you
are genuinely it's not always the same as that. Party leadership
of a Kingsley, mommy.
No, chairman, we would have made it 2 years. Okay, it would have as Washington chairman. But still, I was a leader as a chairman of Washington. You want to sit down for somebody to go and petition you before say, "Oh, but me are proactive." Now, what me call is any to order. So, not just petition, but who can tell the judge? Now we want who dear quiet about
you see what you are saying, and idea didn't see it. Your even our own party general secretary into the neck. But you make a point and will be soon casa.
Yeah.
What is it? Because you're making a point, say I didn't know be tenacity. The fact is we have structures. What is it? The question that we have to ask ourselves is, are the structures producing the desired results, or do we need to reform the structures? That's what essentially what of Kingsley is saying. Say, oh, okay, maybe we might have the structure, but we are not seeing the desired results. It's FBA 7 crime. That should be the focus. Because many people can say, well, there are structures. But it's not many people can say, maybe I brought you near you, but case what a friend is saying. Our neck. Neck will rules also. I'm going to say, be a son, I'm making that national. Are those rules really adamant now? Do they apply to a station or can we reform them? I'll give a very typical example that happens in governance. Sometimes party people will say, oh, I say, I can't my former court to address a special issue. What do I say? We can look at our party such a way, say, okay, maybe the way that we are having these issues crop up, maybe let's have an expedited way to deal with these issues. All them battles. So that is how you handle it. Because the party already has structure, maybe the structure might not be working. Or might not be working as we are supposed to see. Next year will be talk now. So on your proactive. You know what I say? I've seen the party chairman what do you call it? Why them petition people so move their attempt. Because the can't know why this. But the point I'm trying to make is he's done it. So it tells you that vehicle is there. All the button. But maybe we are not seeing the desired results. And maybe we need to revamp that and make sure say we are achieving the result. That is what something that we can have. That is how I will take it.
Very well.
You see, and I address it, and if you thank you for such a platform. You see, Kpandai now, but what am I making way quick? Yeah, Chairman. Niawo kani nano 100% meno yadine. Now imagine say the whole general secretary a petition the disciplinary committee said adie way any constitution is saying it's got the timelines of when crisis out na the so anyway General Secretary now petition you.
Exactly my point.
So what is the National Executive also doing about the timelines now? One kasakura umomuna ukuta constitution na ukra na obeboa yam yetimi dia ye aduma no. Wo do de call ya na aduma no. What do you do? So wo de cry you what dia say party na collapse citizen if you
so that's what I'm saying, so we can look at reforms.
Say party na collapse ana.
Yeah, but much timeline. Maybe an situation will not like this. So we can look at reforms.
Hang on.
All the budget. So that's the point I'm trying to make. So we can look at reforms. Maybe we can say, okay, to say, you know, timelines now how open this yet now. Me anymore. What I say, those are the things that we need to look at. To be able to address this
I call 21 days as a 28 days. How long? Almost 3-4 months as a senior general secretary petition. That is what I'm talking about.
Very well, Chairman. I'm saying, Chairman, as I admit that there are clear issues. Someone dealing with it.
We need to be very serious. We need to be very, very serious of how we are running MPP. We need serious people to run MPP.
I think already, and that's should send a wake-up call to executives. They better deal with the issues because any issue as a one dealing with data, it better may deteriorate further.
Of course,
yes.